The notorious scarlet kimono in your bag, mademoiselle.
Well, of all the nerve. Monsieur Poirot.
It occurs to me in spite of everything that the murder may not have to do with the outside case at all. We have much evidence pointing to the existence of an outsider aboard the train. One who disguises himself, uses gelatos to kill, then vanishes into the snow. What do you think? Or he could be out there in a frozen snowdrift or lying broken at the bottom of a rocky ravine. The body may never be found until the spring thaw. I enjoy the investigation, monsieur. I certainly do not enjoy the fact that the man has been killed.
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Let us see what we can learn.
Can we use the ham radio to help the investigation?
Oh, but certainement. This is a marvelous stroke of luck. Too often the coincidences, they help the criminal. What a refreshing change to have one that will aid Poirot. I have a friend, Monsieur Louis. His son Barnabas is a boy of much energy and interests. One of these is the radio of Ham, as his proud father reports in a recent correspondence. Young Barnaby can be our eyes and ears in the outside world. His letters to call are there in my valise in the letter from his father. Use the radio of Ham to find out more from him about our current predicament. Oh, he is an invaluable asset, mademoiselle. Do not forget to secure his letters, or you will not have the information needed to reach young Barnaby.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot. The letter. Now I'd better put Monsieur Poirot's clothes back exactly as I found them. I bent the blade of the butter knife back on itself.
Oh, mademoiselle, use the little gray cells that Poirot knows that you possess. Find another solution.
The copper bracelet is now straight with a hooked end. With any luck, that will power the radio, at least for a short time. A makeshift telegraph key. I constantly amaze myself. I won't do that.
The good detective knows.
I suppose that will do as a telegraph key. There, the radio is ready to be used.
Superb, mademoiselle. You do not need to learn the Morse code if you have the book as reference.
That will save the cell from draining while I'm not using it. There, the radio is ready to be used. That will save... There. That will save...
You're the one bright spot in this whole business, if you don't mind me saying so.
This is all nonsense.
You have been lucky, Signorina. Your luck may change.
I'm not in the mood to talk right now.
I don't envy you your task, I'll say that.
I don't think she's in the mood for conversation. Before I go, there was something else. What is the name of the conference you are addressing in London?
Why, it is the International Society of Gastrointestinal Physicians.
Why would such a group be interested in a speech about a disease found in newborn calves?
Why, there are many similarities between... What I mean is anatomy. Constantine, what have you done?
You lied to us about your qualifications, Doctor. You are a veterinarian, yes?
Yes, a very good veterinarian.
Monsieur Poirot and I relied on your qualified opinions.
Mademoiselle Marceau.
All the inconsistencies, the time of death, the difference in the force of the stab wounds. The murderer is strong, but no, look here, the murderer is weak. He is right-handed. No, he is left-handed.
Have you considered he may have held a knife in each hand?
Doctor, enough. All of it can be explained away with the simple fact that you did not know what you were doing.
Mademoiselle, all of my training was to become a medical doctor, to treat human disease and to save human lives. Then, I come from a poor family. I had not the money to finish my studies. The best I could accomplish was doctor of animals. When Monsieur Poirot was told there was doctor on the train, I saw an opportunity to prove myself. Not to you, you understand. To me.
But your evidence...
I swear to you, every observation I made, every conclusion I reached will be verified by any doctor who examines the body. Further, by my acting while the murder was as yet not too long in the past, I may very well have seen more than any doctor coming to the case days or even hours later. I did lie about my degree. I did not lie about my ability. You may rely on everything I have told to you. Yes, even with all the inconsistencies, you have the correct medical evidence before
you. Before I go... Your name is Helena, isn't it? Not Elena. You are Helena Maria Gilbert, are you not? Sonia Armstrong's sister, Linda Arden's daughter?
I demand, mademoiselle, to know what right you...
No, Rudolph. It is useless to deny what Mademoiselle Marceau says. It is quite true, mademoiselle. I am Helena Gilbert, the youngest sister of Sonia Armstrong.
Au revoir, Monsieur le Comte. I have nothing more...
I shan't change my story now, no matter how much you badger me.
Soon this entire affair will be behind us all. If only you and that Belgian detective will allow it.
I don't think she's...
Ah, you return. So is there more to report to me, mademoiselle?
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Let us see what we can learn.
This book of Masterman's reveals more than he knows.
Love's Captive by the inestimable Mrs. Arabella Richardson, yes. And what does it reveal to you?
He was in the military.
Most men of a certain age fought in the war, mademoiselle. Even Poirot. Still, it is worth pursuing. Well done.
This driving license indicates Foscarelli has been a chauffeur.
A not unnatural profession for a man who loves the motor cars.
Hildegard Schmidt's recipe box is suggestive.
You remember at dinner how she was most opinionated with the waiter while studying the menu? And the label on the box, it is interesting as well. My lady's recipes. Now that suggests that she is accustomed to cooking for her employers. Not a duty one attaches to the lady's maid, n'est-ce pas?
Mary Debenham's handkerchief does not match the one found next door.
No, despite the middle name of Hermione beginning with an R, I did not think that the expensive handkerchief would belong to her. No, the handkerchief of Mademoiselle Debenham is precisely the type one might expect to find in the luggage of a young Englishwoman of her class.
The postcard I found in Greta Olsen's suitcase tells a story.
This card, it speaks to Poirot in many ways. Coney Island is, I think, on the Long Island of New York in America. A country she claims not to have visited. Mademoiselle Olsen does not send the postcard to Sweden as she perhaps intended, but saves it as a keepsake for herself. It is not a happy memory, this. A last brief moment in the sun for a family soon to be swept away by the storm.
Countess Adrenyi's maiden name is Gilbert.
Not a very Hungarian name, that.
Her accent is more American than Hungarian. The scarlet kimono turns up in my luggage. I swear to you it does not belong to me.
Oh, mademoiselle, I have no doubt of that. You have vigorously pursued its owner's identity. No. It is a defiance, you understand? It is a gauntlet thrown down. Very well. We take it up.
Countess Andrenyi is Helena Gilbert, Sonia Armstrong's sister.
Ah, oui. It is easy to see why her devoted husband would try to hide that fact. Her account of the Armstrong household is of the greatest interest. Please to go over the points of her testimony that struck you.
The handkerchief with the H belongs to the princess.
I confess I should have remembered that in the Cyrillic alphabet, Arch is written as N. And she has a strong motive to want Ratchet dead. But are we meant to believe that this elderly woman prances about in the scarlet silk kimono? Or could strike with such ferocity?
Schmidt is accustomed to cooking for her employers, as we suspected.
And her mistake in how long she has been in the employ of the princess is remarkable. A difference 1/3 less than her mistress claims. 10 years. We must look deeper into this. What course do you suggest?
I will radio to Barnaby.
A wise decision, I think.
Foscarelli was the Armstrong chauffeur.
It was a deduction most simple.
Masterman was Colonel Armstrong's valet.
And his Batman during the war.
Barnaby confirms Colonel Arbuthnot served with Colonel Armstrong.
We, the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, a regiment most distinguished.
Dr. Constantine is a veterinarian.
The only man on the train who answers the description of Ratchet's unknown enemy, and that is his only secret? Bah!
Pierre Michel has no family.
Never married, parents dead, his sister, her husband, and a niece dead in the car crash? Oh, this is enough to explain the sadness that haunts him, and yet he carries the happy family photograph with him, a wife and a child.
The nursemaid's full name was Suzanne Ferrier.
French. Yet no apparent connection to any of the others involved in that case. Ah, well, not every clue will lead somewhere.
Cyrus Hardman has worked for McNeil's for almost 15 years.
I wonder.
The father of Linda Arden's children was named Gilbert.
No marriage, just children. Ah, the smart set is often not so smart, I think.
The nursemaid Suzanne, who threw herself to her death, was French.
Oui. To know her full name might be instructive.
The Armstrong nurse was named New Daughter.
An odd name, that. What nationality do you think?
Slavic or Scandinavian?
Well, perhaps. I think that the Countess has the most fanciful mind and is quite adept at the word games. She is playing them now. Noi Daughter sounds, I think, only by coincidence, vaguely Scandinavian. Olsen is, of course, authentic Scandinavian.
New Daughter. New Daughter. Olsen, old son.
It is not yet fact, but it is worth pursuing.
Helena Gilbert's governess was an old hag named Freebody.
What an unfortunate name for an old hag is Freebody. It is more apt a name for the generation of flippers.
Flappers. The fast young women were called flappers in America. Thank goodness skirts are finally lengthening again.
As you say. I wonder if during your time at university in England you had occasion to patronize the clothing shops for the fashionable woman in London.
No, Monsieur Poirot, not on a student's budget.
There is such a shop near my own tailor called Debenham and Freebody, and the description the Countess gives to you is as far from the attractive young woman Mary Debenham as one could hope to get.
The Countess recognized no one on the train.
Including Madame la Princesse, her sister's godmother? Monsieur McQueen she may also have seen, but he has grown much, of course, and the appearance changes. But a woman of the advanced years of the princess does not change so much, I think. No, I find this lack of recognition the most damning point against the Countess in all of her evasions and lies. So you see now why the Countess's failure to recognize anyone grows beyond suspicious.
Perhaps she is nearsighted. If she were the second murderer in Ratchet's room last night, that might explain why she didn't notice he was already dead.
You know, at times you remind me so of my good friend Hastings. Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report, it is not yet complete. We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. Continue the investigation, and do not be afraid to go over the ground you have already covered.
There, the radio. That will say... There. That will save the...
Mademoiselle, forgive me. I am much too upset to answer any more questions.
When you're in this...
Mademoiselle Debenham, I must ask you why you lied to me earlier.
Lied to you? I don't know what you mean.
You told me you had never been in America.
What makes you think I have?
Information received, as the English police say. You concealed the fact that you lived in the Armstrong household.
And what, may I ask, was I supposed to have been doing there?
You were governess to Helena Gilbert, Mrs. Armstrong's young sister, and you would have no doubt been governess to little Daisy when she was old enough.
You appear to have found me out.
And the reason for these evasions?
I have my living to get. You must know how hard it is for a girl to get and keep decent employment. I had been detained and questioned in connection with a murder case. Do you think that any nice, ordinary, middle-class Englishwoman would want to engage a girl with those references as governess to her daughters?
Even if no blame attached to you, there would be the publicity.
Yes, we have it hard enough getting on, don't we? Without all of that additional baggage.
I understand very well.
I thought you would know what it is like.
I am the hardest working employee in the office, yet I remain at the lowest wages. And I've worried more than once how my employer, Monsieur Booth, will react when he learns of the avalanche, Monsieur Poirot's accident, the murder. I'm not to blame, but...
But somehow you will be blamed. It's not fair. It's just the way things are.
Not now, when it's all over. When it's behind us.
Antoinette, those words refer to a private matter of my own. I can't tell you. I can't.
You could have helped the investigation.
How?
Is it possible, Mademoiselle Debenham?
Call me Mary, please.
Mary, is it possible you did not recognize Countess Andrigny?
Recognize her? From the society pages, you mean?
She is Helena Gilbert, the young sister whom you taught in New York.
Helena. It is true she reminded me of someone. It puzzled me. Yet she looks so different now. So elegant. How could I connect her with a little American schoolgirl? I admit I looked more closely at her clothes than her face, and I had my own preoccupations.
Au revoir, Mademoiselle Debenham.
I don't envy you.
Later, we can talk till the cows come home, if you like.
I will not answer any more of your ridiculous questions.
Dear young miss, I would like to say that despite all the calamity, I have enjoyed sharing my compartment.
Thank you, Greta, but I'm afraid I must ask you some more questions.
Yeah, I am thinking you must. Our gracious Father, who art in heaven, guides your hand, I think. So, I am content.
I found a postcard in your suitcase.
My one keepsake from that time. It is a silly thing, but I hold it dear.
Coney Island is in America.
Yeah, of course. It is on the Long Island of New York, in the country of America. I lied to you when I said I had never been there. May God forgive me.
On the back of the postcard, you write that Helena rode on the roller coaster.
Helena Gilbert, Mrs. Armstrong's young sister, only 10 years of age, but so brave. I am not so brave.
You were Daisy Armstrong's nurse, were you not?
It is true. It is true. She was an angel, a sweet, trusting angel. She knew nothing but kindness and love. And she was took away by that wicked, wicked man. And her poor mother, and the other little one who never lived at all. I was to be that little child's nurse, too. I ought to have told you, but I was afraid. I did so rejoice that that evil man was dead, that he could not any more kill the little children.
When your investigation...
When will that plow free us? I must get off this mountain.
As much as I might want to see that swine dead, I did not stab him.
I don't think...
I feel like I'm trapped in one of those crystal balls you shake to make the snow fall. And there is no escape.
Come back later, Miss Marceau. We can chat then.
Ah, you're a
And that is everything.
weeper.
Greta Olson was Daisy Armstrong's nurse.
This may explain the zeal with which she cares for her young charges at her mission, and why she never had any children of her own.
Barnaby has discovered that the last name of the Armstrong cook was Schmidt.
All of her ladies have said that she was a wonderful cook.
I have all the pieces. All that remains is for me to assemble them properly.
Très bien, mademoiselle. You have done well. Mademoiselle Marceau, you will recall my observation to you of the many classes and nationalities one meets when traveling.
Yes, of course.
Try to imagine whether such an assembly would ever likely to be collected under any other conditions.
In America?
Oui, the great melting pan of America.
Melting pot.
This is the answer I made to myself as well. Only in America you might find a household composed of such varied nationalities. And what do we discover here? Such a household has recreated itself aboard this train. A household damaged almost beyond recovery 10 years ago by the man wretched. And so we near the end of at least one journey. Please to assemble our fellow passengers in the salon car. Oh, and please also to send for Michel and Dr. Constantine. I will need their assistance to convey me to the salon car.
You will present your solution?
I will offer 3 solutions. You, mademoiselle, will decide which of them will best serve justice.